Hello friends, it's Lisa and welcome to a new reading vlog. So I'm very excited for this reading vlog because we're going to be doing a bit of a self-love, self-care focused vlog. I feel like the past few years around this time of year, around Valentine's Day, I do typically do a self-care, self-love focused vlog. With Valentine's Day kind of happening, I feel like a lot of times the type of love that gets focused on with this holiday is romantic love, but there's so many different types of love we can be celebrating, including yourself and caring for yourself and loving yourself. And I just said yourself so many times. And loving and taking care of yourself is something that I find really important. So of course I want to share that with you all, and hopefully this will inspire you to do something for yourself. And especially winter, this time of year, I do not thrive. I do love being cozy. I love being under a blanket with my comfy sweatshirts, reading my book with a hot drink or something. I love this time of year for that, but at the same time, mentally, I do not thrive. It is too cold, it is too gray, it is too sad. I do not do well in this time of year. So it's really important for me, especially, to really focus on doing things that I love and make me happy. So that's what this vlog's gonna be all about. We're gonna do things that make me happy. So naturally, we're gonna be doing a lot of reading and reading things that make me happy. So excited to share that TBR with you, but I also want to do some journaling. I haven't set up my February spreads for my bullet journal yet, so I really should plan that out and maybe start filming that either today or tomorrow. And also because it's still the beginning of the year, my journals, I'm just so excited to be filling them out. I have been loving using my reading journal this year. I feel like the end of last year, I kind of fell off of using it. I kind of just got stuck doing the same things and lost a bit of motivation to keep up with it. But because I have a new journal and I'm doing things a bit differently, which I can share with you all, what my reading journal is looking like so far this year, I'm just having a great time using it, which is also motivating me to read so that I can use my reading journal. So yeah, lots of reading and journaling, of course, but I also think I might want to do a little rewatch of a comfort movie. I've been in the mood recently to do a rewatch of the 2005 Pride and Prejudice movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. I do feel like I'm just always in the mood to watch that movie, so this isn't really different from every other day of my life. But I've been really wanting to rewatch it recently, so maybe we'll do that. I love that movie so much, so I feel like I'm due for a rewatch. I also would love to reread Pride and Prejudice at some point this year. I feel like that could be fun, but I also have so many other Jane Austen books that I have not read, so I'm maybe I should read those first before I reread Pride and Prejudice. But anyway, doing a rewatch of Pride and Prejudice 2005 perhaps is in the cards for the vlog, and just generally doing things that make me happy. I know this Saturday I'm going out with some family and friends, which will make me happy. Spending time with people that I love is just obviously something that I consider self-care in a way, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, we'll just see what else I end up getting up to this week. Like I said, I just want to treat myself and take care of myself and do all the things that I love. So when starting this vlog, I was maybe I should put contacts in, put some makeup on to start this vlog, and I didn't want to. So I didn't. Self-care. I also changed out of my pajamas into different comfy clothes just because I was I don't really feel like doing that whole thing. I don't really feel like making myself that presentable. I just want to be comfy and give my skin a break, give my eyes a break from wearing contacts, because that's important. So didn't do any of that, but to kind of make myself feel a little bit more put together, I ended up putting on some jewelry that was kindly sent to me by Ana Luisa, who is sponsoring this video. So Ana Luisa is a brand that I know I have talked about so many times on my channel. I've been working with them for a few years now. It's actually kind of wild to think about how long I've been working with them, but you all know I love them. They are a high quality jewelry brand, but at the fraction of the price as other luxurious jewelry brands. They have pieces starting at just $39, and I just love their jewelry so much. I wear it all the time. I get compliments on it all the time. And like I said, I put it on to make myself feel a little bit more put together today and just make myself feel a little bit more confident. They always make me feel really good about myself when I'm wearing their jewelry. Like I was saying, I didn't want to put contacts in today, didn't want to do my makeup, just wanted to have a very chill day, but I still feel good about myself and ready for the day and feel confident because I'm wearing their pieces. I just love their jewelry so much. We all know. So they did send me a few of the pieces that I'm wearing today. I am wearing these mini pearl earrings. I absolutely love these. It's such a throwback for me to be wearing pearl earrings because that's basically all I used to wear in high school, which I probably still have some of the pearl earrings that I had in high school, but I think, since it's been a long time since I've been in high school, we're not going to do the math. I don't want to feel that pain. but it obviously has been a long time since I've been wearing those earrings. So I think it was time for a bit of a refresh. Plus, a lot of the earrings I used to wear in high school, they cause problems with my ears. I have very sensitive skin, so a lot of earrings cause like reactions or bad reactions when I wear them, but Ana Luisa's earrings do not, which is something I also really love about them. A lot of times when I'm wearing Ana Luisa earrings, I forget that I'm even wearing them because they're so comfortable, which is very different for someone who used to have a reaction basically anytime she wore earrings. So that's a plus. And then I'm also wearing these two necklaces stacked on top of each other. So the shorter one that I'm wearing is the Rowena necklace, which I also have the bracelet form of this. I love that Ana Luisa has like certain designs that carry over into different types of jewelry, so you can kind of match up your bracelets with your necklaces and your rings and everything. I think it's really fun. So I really love that one. And then I also have the May necklace in green, which I also am wearing the May ring in green, which is kind of why I wanted to get this necklace because they match. I think that that's so fun. I also have this necklace in the pink color as well. I don't know, something about this design in the necklace and the ring as well, which this ring they didn't send to me this time. I already had this, but something about this design I just really, really love. I don't know why. I think it's just a really fun way to add some color to your jewelry without it being like super intense. It's very subtle, which I think is more my vibe. Also, I think this necklace does look like it's kind of a black shade and not green just because of the shirt that I'm wearing, but I promise it is green and it is beautiful. So I absolutely love these three pieces that Ana Luisa sent me this time around. I'm so excited to add them to my collection. They make me feel so good about myself. I love them so much. But on the topic of self-care, self-love, treating yourself, Ana Luisa would make the perfect thing to give yourself a little bit of a little treat. We love little treats. I feel like life is about the little treats that you give yourself, you know? So I highly recommend checking out Ana Luisa. They are currently running some sales of up to 25% off for a limited time. So make sure you go and check them out. I will have a link to their website at the top of my description, and you can take advantage of these great sales and get yourself a little something special, a little treat, because you deserve it. And that is what self-love's all about. But thank you once again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video and for once again working with me. And now we can chat about what I'm planning to read in this vlog, because like I said, we're all about self-care right now. So we're gonna read a lot of things that I just feel like reading and that make me happy. And what is the genre that makes Lisa very happy? Everybody say it with me. Romance. So obviously romance is very fitting again for Valentine's Day coming up, but like I just read romance all the time because it makes me happy. So that's what we're gonna do this week. Or we're just gonna read what I'm in the mood for, because that's really just the vibe that I want for this whole year, and just like my reading in general. I want to read what I want to read, what I'm in the mood for, and what makes me happy. So this vlog is just really going along with my goal for the whole year. So right now I'm currently in the middle of reading Reckless by Elsie Silver. I'm 29% of the way through, and this is the fourth book in the Chestnut Spring series, which I started last year and just am absolutely loving. I have so much fun with these books, and I've kind of been putting off like continuing on with this series because I just don't want it to end. There's only 5 books in the series, so once I'm done with this fourth one, I'm only gonna have one left, and that just makes me very upset. So I know Elsie Silver, like, she's another series she wrote before this. She's coming out with a new book in April, I think. Like, there's plenty of other things I can read from her, but I just love this series so much, so I'm really sad about it coming to an end. So I've been putting it off, but I finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna read the fourth one. I still am gonna have one left to read after this one anyways, and I had just finished reading Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood earlier this week, and absolutely loved that book. I gave it 5 stars, and I was just like, I don't know what I want to read. Like, after reading a book that you love, it's so hard to choose a next read because you're like, I don't want to read anything else. I just want to be back with that book. So that's why I started Reckless, because I knew no matter what, like the second I start an Elsie Silver book, like I'm going to be having a good time being back with these characters in Chestnut Springs. I'm just going to be sucked right back in, and that's what happened. It was just so nice to be back with these characters. So this one, you're following Winter and Theo, and each book in the series you're following a different like set of characters and a different couple, but they're all connected. So Winter is actually the sister to Summer, who we're following in the first book. And we learn in that first book that Summer and Winter don't really have the best relationship just due to the way that they grew up. Like, their home environment, they were often like pit against each other, and they just didn't have a very great relationship. But obviously as they've gotten older and they've worked through some of their trauma and things that they've gone through, like they've been able to become a little bit closer. But yeah, I remember when I read like the first book in this series, I was like, I don't know how I feel about Winter, but now that we have her own book, like seeing her perspective and seeing like what she was going through and just learning about like how she has been choosing to deal with these things because of the way she grew up, and just like in general, learning more about her, it's like, okay, a lot of these things make sense, and now I already love her so much. And Theo is a character we also get introduced to in the first book because he's a bull rider. He knows Rhett from the first book as well, and now Rhett is Theo's like mentor. Now, this book does have a trope that I haven't really read much of. Like, I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about it because I don't have that much experience with it, and that's the accidental pregnancy trope. So the whole thing is that Winter is coming out of a messy relationship. She's recently divorced and it's just not thriving. One night she's with Summer and their whole family, like the whole gang of people that we've been reading about so far in this series. She's there with them that night and is mentally just kind of struggling with what is going on in her life. And Theo's also there. And the two of them are kind of bickering and just like going at each other the whole night. And they end up deciding, well, the only course of action here is to have a one-night stand. So they end up doing that, you know, make the deal that it's going to happen this one time, and then that's it. They're never going to talk about it again. Probably not going to really see each other much after that. Like, it's just going to be that, and then it's done. And then Winter ends up getting pregnant. And something that I do want to note, especially if you're planning on picking this book up, is that Winter in her previous relationship was really struggling to get pregnant, and then they also, you know, for content warning's sake, they do get pregnant, but she ends up having a miscarriage. So definitely be aware of that if you're going to be going into this book, because it is something that is discussed, and we see Winter just be like so excited to be a mom, regardless of what Theo thinks and what he's going to do. She's just really excited for it. So it's been very interesting to see this dynamic so far. Where I'm at in the book now, I think I said I was 29% of the way through. We're now just at a point where we're actually, I think, going to see them have to like co-parent this child, and obviously they are not together, but they very clearly have feelings for one another. They're very much attracted to one another, so I think it's going to be really fun. So far, I'm really liking it. I really like Winter. I really like Theo. So I think it'll be a fun read. And I just know I'm going to love it because I've loved this whole series so far. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. Having a great time with that. And then we're just going to see what else I plan on reading this week. I do have, let me grab it. I have Heartstopper Volume 5. I don't understand how I've had this in my possession for like a few weeks now and have not read it. I think this came out at the end of December or sometime in December. I don't understand how I haven't read this yet. So I feel like this could be a fun thing to pick up in this vlog for a little self-care cozy moment, because I love this series so much. It just makes me so happy. It also makes me completely devastated because there are some emotional moments. Volume 4 was a lot more emotional and sad than I feel like the other volumes, but I have heard that this one picks up a little bit in tone compared to Volume 4. Like, it's a little bit more lighthearted than Volume 4. So I don't know. I'm excited to read it. I'm probably gonna cry and have a good time. So I feel like this could be the perfect thing to pick up in a self-care vlog, but we'll see. I would also just like to read it because I don't understand how I haven't picked it up yet. I just love this series. So this and Reckless, and then maybe some other things as well. We're just gonna see where the week takes us. But yes, welcome to a very self-care focused reading vlog. I will check back in once I have some reading updates or we're doing a little self-care activity. Who knows, but I will chat to you in a bit. Well, hello. Good afternoon. This lighting's a little weird. I have my ring light above me. I was just filming my February bullet journal setup, so I was like, I'm just gonna leave it on so you can actually see me and we'll have good lighting. But I feel like it's just like highlighting my forehead. But anyways, hello. Yeah, I've finished my February bullet journal setup, which went a lot faster than normal. I'm really focusing on doing more simple themes this year in my bullet journal, and it's just really nice to not spend hours sitting here filming these videos. I probably have like an hour, maybe an hour and a half of footage of me actually filming it, which might seem like a lot. To me, that's not a very long time. Like, normally, like, a lot of my bullet journaling videos are like 3 hours long, so I'll take it. So I'm really happy that I've decided to like force myself to keep things more simple because it's just a lot easier. But yeah, did that, spent the afternoon or like a bit of the afternoon doing that. And now I think the rest of the night I'm going to do some reading. I think I really want to have a nice like self-care, very relaxing night. So I think I'm gonna do like a face mask and make myself a hot chocolate and just get cozy and do some reading. I think I want to read Heartstopper Volume 5 tonight. So I think that that's gonna be in the plans, especially because when I was filming the intro for this vlog, like holding Volume 5 just made me so excited to actually pick it up. Like I genuinely do not know how we've made it this long without me reading it. So I think that that's going to change tonight. We're gonna read it tonight. Very excited. And I probably will continue to do some more reading of Reckless by Elsie Silver because I'm like a little over halfway through that and I'm just loving it so much. I feel like these books, I don't know if I've given a single book in the series 5 stars, but I just like enjoy reading them so much. Like they're just so fun and silly at times, but also like these characters in every single book in this series are also going through it. Like they're all going through something, and it can be very difficult and emotional sometimes to read because they're just really struggling. It just makes me happy to see characters who may be dealing with these very difficult things or like these insecurities get their happy ending and get these like happy romances, and it's just so fun to read. Obviously, yeah, they're smutty too, which is like, that's fun, but I also like the very like emotional, sweet, like tender moments in the romances as well, because all of these men, they are the standard. Especially because in this book, we obviously see Winter and Theo become parents from a one-night stand that they had. And Theo with a baby. Elsie Silver, round of applause. You're doing amazing. It's just, I don't know, I feel like these books are just really well-rounded. Like, yeah, they have the fun, silly, goofy, smutty moments, but they also have like the very sweet and precious and also like emotional moments with the romances. But then we also have all of the characters from like the previous books and this like family that they've all created with one another. And it's just really sweet. Like this book specifically, we're seeing a lot of the characters from the previous books in the series, and they're just so willing to accept Winter into their group, especially like Winter and Summer, who are sisters, have had this very strained relationship, and just seeing Summer be like, yeah, but you're my sister, so I love you anyways, and like come into this group, come into my family. And it's just really nice to see. I don't know, I just have such a good time with these books. I'm just having a great time. It's the type of book too, like the second I start reading, I can't not read like a lot all at once. Like I only started this book a couple days ago and I'm already 50% of the way through, or over 50% of the way through. And I think this book's like over 400 pages long. Like it's kind of a long book, and I don't know, it's just so easy to like finish a chapter and be like, okay, I'm gonna read one more and then be done. And then you get to the end of that chapter and you're like, just kidding, I need to read one more. And then you read one more and you're like, nope, we're not done. I need to read one more. Like the very stereotypical bookish merch that's like, just one more chapter. That's me with these books. I just cannot put it down. It's so hard to get me to stop reading once I do start reading it. So yeah, I just think these books are like, they're very well rounded because they have so many different aspects to the romances itself. Like, yeah, they're smutty, but they're also very emotional, but then they're also very sweet at times. And then you have all of these other characters and these other relationships and friendships and dynamics that you get to see. And you see these characters go through their own struggles and kind of work through those. So it's just like, there's a lot going on. It's very well rounded, and I just have such a good time with them. So I'm hoping to get that done this weekend, but we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to be pausing to be reading Heartstopper Volume 5. And I also started the audiobook for Finding Me by Viola Davis because I saw a few people mention it in like end of the year videos or like best books of the year videos. A lot of people have really enjoyed it, and I have not even seen anything that Viola Davis is in. And I don't know how that's possible because she's been in so many things, but I've never seen a single thing that she's in. I know she's in the new Hunger Games movie, so hopefully I'll be seeing that eventually. But yeah, I've heard people say that they've enjoyed it, even not having seen much of anything that she's in, if they've seen anything at all. And I just heard really good things, and I saw it on Hoopla and I went, I'm kind of in the mood to listen to this. So I've started listening to that. I've only listened to a chapter, but I'm already like, oh, this is going to be an emotional read. It's narrated by Viola Davis, so I'm excited to listen to it. I just love when authors actually narrate their own books, especially if it's a memoir. Like, I just think that that's really impactful. So excited to keep listening to that. But yeah, I'm hoping I can still finish Reckless this weekend on top of the other things I'm reading and the plans that I have this weekend. I think I said that I'm tomorrow going out like with family and friends. We're doing a bit of a brewery day and just spending the day together. We normally do like lunch and dinner. Like, it's a whole day affair. But I'm really excited. It's going to be really fun as always, but obviously that's going to be taking up most of my day tomorrow on Saturday, and then Sunday will probably be recovering from Saturday. But I think Sunday will be a nice day to have like a very chill and relaxed like reading day if I feel like it. I feel like I'll probably end up watching some of my favorite comfort movies. Again, Pride and Prejudice is on the list, so maybe I'll watch that on Sunday as like a little self-care and recovery type of moment. But yeah, I'm excited for the next few days. Obviously have some plans, but also just excited to do some cozy reading. And I think tonight, like I said, I want to read Heartstopper, have a bit of a self-care kind of night. And I'm just really excited. I just love being cozy. So I'm very excited to snuggle up and do some reading tonight. But yeah, I think those are my reading updates for now. I will try and document some of the things going on this weekend because obviously like spending time with family and friends, like I was saying, is kind of self-care for me in a way. Like it does like make me really happy to spend time with people that I love. So I'm excited to do that. And I feel like that will fit into the self-care themed vlog, but we'll see because I always forget to vlog literally anything whenever I do anything. I'm just not good at filming things, but we'll see. And if anything, I will definitely be documenting all of the reading and other self-care things that I'm planning on doing this weekend. So I will check back in once I do some reading, once I have some reading updates, and also once we do some self-care things, some self-care activities. Well, hello everyone. It's been a few days since I've updated. This weekend was very fun. I went out with my family and some friends on Saturday and we had a really good day. I was recovering Sunday a little bit. And I know I said something about watching Pride and Prejudice or just like a comfort movie in general on Sunday when I was recovering, but I ended up doing a lot of YouTube watching. I also did some reading while I was watching football because those games were, I guess, exciting. I don't really care about any of the teams that we're playing, and I don't really care about the Super Bowl. I care about Taylor Swift. I like football, so it kind of pains me to be that person that's like, I'm here for Taylor Swift, but like, I am here for Taylor Swift at this point because I don't care. Anyways, but yeah, while I was watching football on Sunday, I was reading Reckless kind of the whole time and ended up finishing it. I think I read like almost half of the book on Sunday. So I was in a reading mood, which was nice. And I gave this book 4 stars, like I've given every other book in the series other than Heartless. That one I did give 4.5, which it is deserving of that extra half star because it's definitely my favorite and like the standout of the series for me. But yeah, everything still stands true to what I was saying before, just the book being balanced really well. I really love the characters and I love that this particular, I was gonna say volume. no, this particular book in the series, we see a lot of the other characters from the previous like 3 books, because in the 3rd book, when we could have seen a little bit more from the first 2, they were on a road trip for like most of the book. And so I thought it was really fun to like in this particular book in the series be able to see all of the other characters from the previous books. I almost just fell over. Hello. But yeah, it was just like, it was kind of a found family almost element, but like obviously some of the people in these series like are related, like Winter and Summer, where Summer's from the first book, Winter was the main character in this book, like they're sisters, and seeing them like rekindle their relationship in this book was also really nice to read. And also just like reading about Winter, because we meet her in the first book and we know about her and Summer's like not great relationship, and I feel like there were a lot of things that we don't know about Winter, but we kind of learn more about her and what was going through her head and what she was going through growing up in a kind of, you know, obviously the same family as Summer, but they kind of had different relationships with different parents. And so they grew up in very different scenarios. And I feel like being able to learn more about her was really nice. And obviously Theo is incredible. What a man. And something that I definitely appreciate about this book, and I feel like all of the books in this series, like the conflicts are done really well, like the 3rd act conflict, because there's times when I read a romance book and I'm loving it, having a great time, and then we get to the 3rd act conflict and I just don't like the conflict and I don't like the way characters handle it, or it goes on for too long. But I feel like this conflict, like it made sense why it happened. Like, I think, you know, the characters were very frustrated and there were a lot of like high emotions, and then, you know, they handled it like adults and it didn't like drag on or this like big miscommunication was happening. Like it was just like handled really well. And so it just, I don't know, that's something that I appreciate, because I feel like a lot of times I just don't like the way conflicts are done in romance books. They can be very frustrating. So that's something that I really appreciate about all of the books in this series. So yeah, I finished that and gave it 4 stars. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I'm very sad that I only have 1 book left in the series. I know Elsie Silver has a whole other series that she wrote before this. She's coming out with a new book, I believe in April, but I'm still just like, I don't know, I'm just upset about it. I just love the series so much. It's just so fun. So I'm a little upset that I only have 1 book left, but hopefully I'll be reading that soon and then I can finish that series, because I've started a lot of series, so I actually need to finish some. And I feel like because I'm close to finishing this one, I should just close it out, but I'm sad about it. I don't want it to be over. But yeah, I finished that. And then I've also been listening to Finding Me, which I think I should have checked, but now I'm filming on my phone, so I don't know what % of the way in I am. I think I'm like 16, if I'm remembering correctly. What did I put into Storygraph last night when I was tracking my reading? I think I'm like 16% of the way through. I'm not very far. I've listened to the first like few chapters, but very emotional already. I feel like so far we've really just been learning about like her childhood. I don't know like if this book is going to go like in chronological order of her life, but so far we're still like in the early days of like her childhood, and we've learned a little bit about her parents as well and their relationship, but also like her mom's childhood as well, which was so devastating. Like it's just like so far it's just kind of sad. Like, I don't know, like Viola Davis's family, they just have gone through a lot, and it's like she's still like a child where I'm at in the book, like what she's recounting right now. So I don't know, I have a feeling it's going to be very emotional. It's been emotional so far. There's been a few times I've had to like pause it and be like, oh, okay, and then you know, we continue on, because I don't know anything about her. Like I said, I think when I said I started it, I've never seen anything that she's in. So I don't really know much about her other than she's an icon. That's all I need to know. I mean, not really, because obviously I'm excited to read this book and learn more about her. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect, but it's really good so far. Her narration, because Viola Davis is narrating her audiobook, which I really, really love. I love when the authors actually narrate their own books, especially when it's a memoir. It just like adds to the impact, I think. Hearing her own voice like share these stories is just really impactful, and so far it's been impactful. It's been very emotional, but I'm excited to keep going with that. But I think tonight, or maybe right now, it's a little after 4 o'clock right now in the afternoon. I got home from work like an hour ago, so I've just kind of been decompressing and relaxing, and I think I might put on a movie now or maybe later. I don't know, maybe Pride and Prejudice, maybe not. I feel like Pride and Prejudice, it's on the brain, but I may panic and pick something else, pick another comfort movie and just relax and chill. I feel like I'm not in the biggest like physically reading mood, so I might put something on and just relax and have a little self-care movie day, night, afternoon, whatever 4 p.m. is considered. And also potentially nap, because I tend to do that. I've napped the past 2 days. It is likely it will happen again today, especially if I put on a movie. That's just asking for me to fall asleep. So we'll see, but I definitely want to have like a chill afternoon and evening. And then hopefully I'll have maybe some more reading updates by the next time I check in. But yeah, just gonna continue on with the self-care vibes and just relax, watch a movie, and just have a very chill evening. Well, friends, I think it's about time that I wrap up this vlog, but before I do that, I want to chat about like what I've done the past few days and any final like reading updates for you all. So I know I said something about having like a comfort movie watching moment, which I did do. However, it wasn't Pride and Prejudice. That movie is not available on any streaming service that I have, at least, so I wasn't able to find it for free, which was a bit of a sad moment for me. But I feel like that movie kind of comes and goes off of streaming services all the time, so I'm sure it'll be back somewhere for me to watch. I also should probably just buy myself like an actual DVD of it so that I can watch it whenever I want. But while I was kind of realizing that it wasn't available to me while I was like searching for it on my TV, I ended up seeing that The Parent Trap was going to be on at 7 that night, and I said, well, twist my arm, I'll watch The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap for me is just like my ultimate like comfort movie. It is so nostalgic. It's been like my favorite movie my whole life pretty much. It's kind of just like my default answer because I've never changed my answer to that question since I was like 7 years old. But honestly, even before I was 7, like that has been my favorite movie since I was like a toddler. I just love that movie so much. So it was so fun to watch that. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's kind of one of those movies where if I'm just like scanning through the channels, which doesn't happen very often because I really don't watch TV very often, but if I happen to be looking around on the guide or whatever and I see it on, I have to put it on. So I've seen like bits and pieces of it over the past few years, but like start to finish, I haven't seen it in a while. So that was really fun. I still miss parts of it when I watched it the other night because I had to have dinner and everything, but I saw like most of it, and so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do a movie night with that and watch it from start to finish. But that was great. That's like my ultimate comfort movie, so that was like the perfect thing to watch in a self-care vlog. Also, I did say at the beginning of this vlog that I would show you my reading journal and what I've been doing with it this year, because I'm doing my monthly spreads a little bit different than how I've done them in my other previous reading journals. So we get to January, which I think I did show in my reading journal like setup video. It's now February, so I need to fill in like the little stats and like pie charts and everything. But when it comes to like the books that I read throughout the month, what I used to do is just write out the book title, the author, and my star rating. But this year, I'm printing out the pictures of the book covers and then writing the title, the author, my star rating, and then just like a little bit of thoughts about the book. And I think this will be really nice to be able to look back on if I decide to film wrap-ups. I still haven't decided. I don't think I'm going to do like a January wrap-up, but I might do like a winter wrap-up. I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to do wrap-ups in any capacity, but if I don't, when it comes to like my mid-year book tag videos or like my end of the year favorite videos and everything, it'll be nice to be able to look back on my thoughts on these books. And I would love to do this for every single book that I read throughout the year, but we'll see. I think I'm just going to be very chill with my reading journal this year. If I can do this little review for every single book I read, great. But if not, and there's some months where I just paste in the book cover and then that's it, that's fine too. I obviously have some things that I need to catch up on, and I need to do my February spread, so I'm very behind. I feel like the beginning of the year I'm so excited to start journaling, and then once the excitement of the new journals kind of wears off, and then the second I get busy, she falls behind. So I need to have a journaling day, get caught up on my reading journal and everything. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I love also like the book covers being in there. I think it just adds a little bit more, and it's just like a nice visual way of seeing what I've read in the month. So yeah, I'm very excited to continue to use my reading journal this year and just like see what happens. I'm going to be less strict about like what pages I want to include every single month. So I'm excited to use it. Obviously, I need to get caught up on it, but I've been loving it so far. But now I thought we could chat about what I read this week, because that's kind of the whole point of a reading vlog, isn't it? So I did finish Reckless by Elsie Silver, which I gave 4 stars. I have chatted about that, but what I didn't chat about is Heartstopper Volume 5, which I actually finished before Reckless. I just forgot to talk about it, but obviously this was 5 stars. I love this series so much. Such a comfort series, such comfort characters for me, and it just, I don't know, it just makes me so happy. This particular volume, we're seeing kind of the aftermath of volume 4, especially regarding Charlie's like mental health. We're seeing him be in a better position and still recovering and still struggling with those things, but like working on it. And I thought that that was really nice to see, and like not just have his mental health be the focus of volume 4 and then just like move on from it. We're still seeing him like work through that and talk about his struggles and kind of where he's at mentally with that recovery process. So I really enjoyed that part of it. And then we're also seeing Nick, who is trying to figure out like what uni he wants to go to and what he wants to study. He's not really sure what he wants to do, which I think is a very relatable kind of topic when it comes to figuring out your future. I still don't know. So, you know, it's a lot of pressure to put on like 17-year-old kids, right? So I thought that that was a really great thing to highlight as well. And then within Nick and Charlie's relationship in this volume, we're also seeing them kind of figure out how to take their relationship to the next level, which I thought was done really well. I think it was done in a very realistic way for how teenagers are discussing these things with their friends and with their partners and how these things kind of come about. So I thought that that was really well done. I will say, I do think that this one might be my least favorite of the volumes we've gotten so far. I still give it 5 stars. I feel like Heartstopper, it doesn't really matter what happens in a volume of Heartstopper. I'm gonna give it 5 stars just like as a default. I know that like I'm not being the most critical of this series, but it's just because I love it so much and it brings me so much comfort that I'm like, it's gonna get a 5-star regardless. But yeah, I think this might be my least favorite. I also think that it might just be my least favorite because it's a new volume and it's new content, and I'm way more familiar with what happens in the other volumes because I've read all of them all at least twice, and with the show as well, like I'm just more familiar with what happens in those volumes. And so maybe that's why this one just like, it was all new material, so maybe that's why I didn't love it as much. I don't know, but I still obviously loved it. Like, it's Heartstopper, so therefore I love it. But I think this may have been my least favorite, but I don't know, we'll see. It'll be fun to rank them once we get all 6 volumes. I'm kind of sad that we only have 1 left after this. Originally, volume 5 was supposed to be the last one, so I am excited we're getting 1 more, but I'm very upset that it is the last one. I just never want this series to end. But yeah, there are more like Nick and Charlie things I can read, like the little novellas, and I know Solitaire is where a lot of like, I think specifically things from volume 4 happen in Solitaire, so I know that there's more I can get from these characters. However, I don't want these graphic novels to ever end. But yeah, I did read volume 5 and had a great time. It was like the perfect thing to read when I was having that like cozy self-care kind of night. So absolutely loved that. And then I've also been listening to Finding Me by Viola Davis. So I'm like 67% of the way through the audiobook. I think I have, on the speed I'm listening to, I have like an hour and a half left to listen to. So I'm excited to keep going with this. Obviously, it's like a very emotional story, like what Viola Davis went through in her childhood, and also like right now, like she's just getting out of school, out of like college, and she's starting to get jobs in the acting space. And so even as a young adult, just like her whole life, there's been so many things that have happened that are just like, it's like she hasn't had it easy, her family hasn't had it very easy, and it's been an emotional read. I feel like it's the type of thing that like when I'm listening to it, I'm just so sucked in by her voice and what she's sharing, and then I stop listening to it and I just can't stop thinking about what she has been sharing. It's just very emotional. There's obviously been some good things that have happened, but she definitely hasn't had an easy like upbringing, and just also like being a Black woman in America, like she's talking about how difficult it can be to get jobs, and how as a Black actress specifically, there are only like certain roles that you will get cast as, whereas like the white actors and actresses kind of have so much more opportunities and options for them to play, and just like the conversation surrounding that. And it's just been an emotional read, but it's really, really good. I love that Viola Davis is narrating the audiobook for this because it's just really adding to the impact. And it's been emotional. It's really been one that I've been thinking about a lot while I've been reading, and like while I haven't been listening to the audiobook, I can't stop thinking about it. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it's probably going to be 5 stars, which is just very exciting. I have had so many 5-star reads this year. I mean, granted, this is when I finish this, it's going to be my 6th book read of the year, which maybe isn't as many as other people. But once I finish this, if I do give it 5 stars, which I'm thinking I will, it's going to be my 4th 5-star read of the year. So 4 of the 6 books that I've read have been 5 stars, which is just so exciting considering all of 2023, I had, I think 7 5 stars, like 7 books that were new to me that I gave 5 stars, not including rereads. The fact that I'm already halfway to that in the first like month and a few days of the year. Like, it's just so exciting. I'm just so excited for this year reading wise because we're off to such a good start. So yeah, this week was full of successful reads, and I just hope that that's like what continues throughout the whole year. And we also had just a lovely self-care week. I feel like I did a lot of things that just made me happy, hung out with family, did a lot of journaling, did a lot of reading, watched The Parent Trap. So like really, it was truly a very self-care vlog, and I really, took care of myself, I feel like, in this past week while I've been filming this vlog, so that's been nice. And also, once again, thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Don't forget, you can check the link at the top of my description to browse Ana Luisa's website and take advantage of some sales of up to 25% off. Treat yourself this Valentine's Day. It's really important to take care of yourself as well. Obviously, there's so many different types of love that are celebrated with Valentine's Day, but you also should love yourself, and getting yourself a little treat from Ana Luisa would be the perfect way to do that. But yeah, I think that that is going to conclude this self-care focused reading vlog. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.